If you've been scrolling through endless pages of massage tables, watching videos of people rave about the one that does it all, and still feel that knot of doubt in your stomach, you're not alone. I've spent the last few weeks hopping between a downtown clinic, a freelance therapist's home studio, and a couple of boutique spa spaces just to see what actually works when the door closes and the client rolls onto the table. The biggest surprise? The choice often comes down to how the table fits into a real-world routine, not just the headline dimensions or a glossy brochure. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. So let's talk about the Master Massage Extra Wide 31-inch Spamaster stationary table. At first glance, it looks like the kind of heavy-duty piece you'd see in a high-traffic clinic. But the devil is in the details that matter when you're actually using it day after day. I'll walk through the practical strengths, the hidden trade-offs, and who will get the most bang for their buck, and who might be better off looking elsewhere. First off, the width. Most standard tables sit around 28 inches, which can feel cramped when you're trying to stretch a client's leg or lay out a full facial treatment. This model pushes out to 31 inches, and that extra 3 inches makes a noticeable difference. In a real-world setting, I saw a physical therapist lay a client's lower back flat without having to constantly adjust the client's hips. For a lash artist, the added surface area meant she could spread out her tools and still have room for the client's head, reducing the need to shuffle things around mid-session. If you regularly work with larger clients or need that extra breathing room for equipment, the width alone justifies the price tag. The table's core cushioning is a 3-inch layer of memory foam wrapped in a vinyl cover. Memory foam isn't a new buzzword, but on a stationary table it does something specific. It conforms to the client's body shape while still providing a firm enough surface for deep tissue work. I watched a chiropractor perform a series of spinal adjustments. The client stayed comfortably still, and the therapist reported that the foam helped keep the spine aligned without the client sinking too much. For facial or tattoo work, that same cushioning reduces pressure points where a client's chin might otherwise dig into a hard surface for long periods. It's not a luxury mattress, but it does bridge the gap between a hard, clinical slab and an overly soft lounge chair. Durability is another area where the Spamaster tries to earn its keep. The frame is crafted from mahogany hardwood, a material you typically see in higher-end furniture rather than clinic equipment. The hardwood gives the table a solid, grounded feel. You can hear a faint thud when a client leans back, which in my experience translates to confidence for both practitioner and client. The legs are bolted rather than welded, making the whole unit feel like it could survive a busy day of back-to-back appointments without wobbling. That said, the table is stationary. It doesn't fold or roll, which means you need a dedicated space of at least 8 feet by 4 feet to accommodate it comfortably. If you're renting a small treatment room or share a space with other practitioners, you'll need to plan that footprint ahead of time. One of the practical strengths that often gets overlooked is the built-in shelf. It runs the length of the table on the underside, offering a flat surface for towels, oils, or even a laptop if you're pulling up client notes. In a busy spa, that shelf became a mini command center. The esthetician could keep her disinfectant wipes within arm's reach. The therapist could slide a rolled towel under a client's shoulders without having to step away, and a tattoo artist could rest his ink pots right where he needs them. The shelf is sturdy enough to hold a few hundred pounds, but it's not a place for heavy equipment like a full-size portable ultrasound machine. If your practice relies on a lot of ancillary gear, you'll still need additional storage. Now for the trade-offs. Because the table is stationary, moving it for cleaning or rearranging the room is a chore. The mahogany frame adds weight, which is great for stability, but makes the table a 2-person lift at best. If you ever need to relocate the unit, say, to a pop-up event or a different clinic floor, you'll have to factor in that effort or invest in a dolly. Another point to consider is the surface material. The vinyl cover is easy to wipe down, but it can show scratches over time, especially if you use sharp tools like tattoo needles or cut hair for a facial. A quick test with a key showed a faint mark after a few weeks of heavy use, so you might want to keep a protective sheet handy if you do a lot of abrasive work. Who should buy this table? If you're a solo practitioner who runs a multi-service studio, offering everything from massage,